How's it going, everybody? Tommy Star here. Thank you for clicking on this video and welcome to my Days of the Dead 2017 Indiana Horror Convention update. Coming in number 5. I'm excited to go ahead and talk to you guys about
TDLB 2015 being renovated
over at Best Buy. Alright, so we are like a week away from this thing, and I think it was time to get the update up now. I'm so excited about this one, you guys. There's not near as many celebrities at this convention compared to Texas Frightmare last year. But it's still some pretty cool names. I think one of the good things is that since there aren't a lot of celebrities, it's not going to be near as expensive as Texas. So I'm still excited about the names. So I'm like I did with Texas Frightmare, I'm going to kind of run through the names of the celebrities that I've picked to get autographs from. There's some others too. I'm going to show you some other names of celebrities that are going to be there that I probably won't get an autograph from, but still will be cool to meet. So like I said, this is going on next week, Indianapolis, Indiana. Jess and I are super stoked about it. I was planning on going to Texas every year, but when I seen the lineup for Texas Frightmare for this year, which they already had in April or whatever, I wasn't too impressed by the names that I seen. It was definitely the type of a convention that if you're a big zombie movie TV show fan, you would have loved it, because just a lot of that. Days of the Dead has that too, but it's not really primarily focused on that. They got a lot of other names too. So yeah, so let's go ahead and let's get into the guests that'll be at Days of the Dead. So I think I am probably like most excited for Linda Blair. She was, if you guys remember, I mentioned before, Days of the Dead is a convention that travels city to city. They do like 5 or 6 cities a year or something like that. And the last one I think was in Georgia a couple months ago, and then in a couple months from now it'll be Kentucky. And Linda Blair was announced for the last one, Georgia, and they already announced her for Kentucky, but they had never mentioned anything about Indiana. I think the biggest name at Days of the Dead was George Romero, which I had met him in Texas. But they just announced that George Romero is dealing with some health issues, unfortunately, and he canceled. So to try to make up for it, for everybody who bought tickets, they said that they're going to try to pop out a couple last names to try to make up for George Romero's absence. And Linda Blair was the first one. I was so happy because I was afraid she wasn't going to be there. I'll tell you a funny little story. About 15 years ago, Linda Blair was out at a haunted hayride over in my area, back when I was like first getting into horror, and I waited 2 hours in line to meet her, and it was kind of getting close to close, and one of the workers came over and they said, all right, we are going to cut the line off right here. There's like 2 people in front of me, and they decided to cut it off right in front of me. And I was so upset. I got to see Linda Blair, but I never got to meet her or get an autograph. So I'm going to tell her that too when I meet her. I waited 15 years to meet you. So I can't wait. I'm so happy Linda Blair was announced. For those of you who may not know, Linda Blair is the woman who played Reagan in The Exorcist, the original Exorcist, the little girl from the Exorcist movie. And my plan for her is most likely going to have her sign, I don't know if you guys can see that up there. Right there, see that? My Linda Blair Exorcist mask. I'm probably going to have her sign that. And then there's one other person from Exorcist that's going to be there that I'll tell you about here in a minute. So I might have her and Linda Blair both sign my Exorcist poster. I have a little 11 by 17 poster that probably will have them both sign that too. I haven't decided yet, but more than likely I'm definitely going to have her sign my mask, because I have a lot of celebrities sign masks, and I think it's cool. So that's my plan for Linda Blair, but I am so excited to meet her. Let's get on to the next. Yes, C.J. Graham, my favorite Jason and my favorite Jason film. He, of course, played Jason in Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, which is my all-time favorite Friday the 13th film. I missed him a couple different times, and it's funny, I think they just announced him for Crypticon this year in Minneapolis, which is later in the year in October. I think he's coming there too, but I miss him a few times at some conventions, and I've always wanted to meet him, and I finally get to meet him at Days of the Dead. I'm so pumped about it, you guys. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to have him sign yet, because I have my Halloween 6 mask, my Halloween 6 poster, which I might have him sign that. I don't know yet. I'm still debating. I also have that really cool NECA Ultimate figure I could have him sign. So I got to figure that out. But whatever I have him sign, it'll be cool. But yeah, C.J. Graham, my favorite Jason. I cannot wait to meet him. This is going to be great. All right, yes, Steve Dash. Steve Dash played, he's basically like pretty much like one of the first Jasons. The very first Jason we ever saw was Ari Lehman, who played Jason as a little boy in the end scene of the original Friday the 13th, where the little boy that jumped out of the lake, while Annie was sitting in the boat, he jumped out at her. And so I haven't got to meet him yet. It'd be cool to meet him. But Steve Dash was actually the very first Jason from a Jason movie where Jason was the killer, Part 2, Friday the 13th Part 2. He's the one that wore the gunny sack on his face. Richard Brooker, of course, was the first Jason to wear the hockey mask in Friday the 13th Part 3. But yeah, Steve Dash. Now a lot of people might not know this because a lot of people assume that Warrington Gillette was the Jason from Part 2. Warrington Gillette played the unmasked Jason, where he smashed through the window at the end of Part 2, and you seen his face. That was Warrington Gillette. But the whole movie of Jason doing the killings and walking around with a gunny sack on his face, that was Steve Dash. A lot of people didn't know that, and yes, I'm gonna get to meet Steve Dash. Something else that's cool about C.J. Graham and Steve Dash is they're both doing photo ops in full costume. You can get one together with them or individual, and I'm thinking I might do individual photo ops of those. I haven't pre-ordered them, so I'm hoping that they'll still be available when I get there. But yeah. I'm probably going to get photo ops of them, and then as far as Steve Dash, I'm not really quite sure when I have him sign yet. I do have a gunny sack mask. Probably will have him do that one. Haven't quite decided yet, but we'll see. But yes, Steve Dash and C.J. Graham, 2 more Jasons to put on the list. Felissa Rose, she played Angela in the original Sleepaway Camp. So she was one that they added recently. I'm kind of excited to meet her. Sleepaway Camp, those are great movies, all 3 of them. And it's kind of cool that they got the main girl from the first movie. So yeah, that'll be kind of cool to meet her. I'm thinking about having her sign my my Scream Factory Sleepaway Camp. I'm not sure yet. Sometimes if I can't quite decide what to have a celebrity sign, I usually will just get one of their photos of them and have them sign that. So maybe I can find a cool Sleepaway Camp picture. I probably will end up doing that. But yeah, Felissa Rose from the original Sleepaway Camp. Howard Sherman. He, of course, is most known for playing Bub the zombie in Day of the Dead from 1985. Now, as I've always mentioned before, I've never really been into zombie movies, Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead. I've never been a big fan of those movies. But I don't know. I kind of want to meet him. I thought it'd be cool to get something, picture or something of him signed. Yeah, I just figured, what the heck. I'm trying to get my hands on Day of the Dead Scream Factory. That's one that I'm still needing, and if I had that, I probably would have him sign that. But either way, I still think it would be cool to meet him. Larry Zerner. Now, what's most cool about this particular celebrity, for those who may not know, Larry Zerner played Shelly in Friday the 13th Part 3. He was that like fatter character with like the really poofy hair. And what's cool about Shelly compared to all the other of Jason's victims is Shelly is the one responsible for Jason first getting his hockey mask. Because Shelly, of course, was the character that scared people a lot. He'd wear like different masks and pull pranks on people in the movie, if you guys remember. He did that one scene where like, he pretended like he was like stabbed with an axe or something in the head and fell over, and then it was just fake. Eventually, Jason got him. But he carried around that hockey mask, and there was one scene where he scared somebody wearing the hockey mask. And this was before Jason ever had it. It was so funny. And then eventually when Jason killed Shelly, he took his mask and put the hockey mask on, and he's never taken it off since. So that's what makes Larry Zerner a really cool celebrity to meet. So I'm definitely going to I probably would just get a photo of him and just have him sign it. But I think that's cool to meet him. The character responsible for Jason getting the iconic hockey mask. So yeah, that's cool. I can't wait to meet him. John Dugan. For those of you who may not know, John Dugan played Grandpa in the original 1974 Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The grandpa that's sat in the wheelchair, and they were making him like hit everybody in the head with the hammer. Grandpa was also in Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, but I don't know if it was the same guy. I'll have to look that up, if it was John Dugan or not that played him. Yeah, it's cool. I can't believe I get to meet Grandpa from Texas Chainsaw Massacre original. That's awesome. So yeah, will be awesome. Can't wait. Okay, so the next one, Eileen Dietz. She's the other one I was telling you about. That also played in the original Exorcist. Her scene in that movie was the demon face. She played, what was the name? Zuzu or something. I can't remember what the name was. But she's the one that played the demon face in the original Exorcist. So that'd be cool to meet her. Yeah, I'll probably just have her sign a picture too or something like that. I'm not quite sure yet, but yeah, I thought it'd be kind of cool. Or I might just have her, like I said, sign my little poster along with Linda Blair. So. Bill Moseley, another one that I've been waiting to meet for a very long time, and I'm super stoked about meeting him. Bill Moseley has been in a ton of horror movies, just a shitload of horror movies. But the main ones, of course, he played Chop Top in Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. That really cool character is always like sticking that like metal hook thing under his like metal skull cap thing. I don't know. He's crazy, dude. And then he also played, of course, Otis Driftwood from House of Thousand Corpse, Devil's Rejects. He also, it's funny, he also came back. If you guys are, fans of the Texas Chainsaw franchise, the original 1974 character of in 1974, the 1974 movie, he was just called Old Man is what he was credited as, but in part he actually came back. The same actor, what the hell's his name? What the hell's that guy's name? I think his name is Paul Sidao or something. I can't remember the guy's name, but anyways, that guy played Old Man in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, and then he came back and played the same character in part two, but then part two they named him Drayton. They finally gave him a name. Well, anyways, when they made Texas Chainsaw, which was the last Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie we got in 2013, I believe, as everyone knows, Texas Chainsaw was a true sequel to the original 1974. It literally picks up right at the end of the original 1974, where the other Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 with Dennis Hopper, that one just kind of was all over the place. It didn't exactly stick to the original movie, where Texas Chainsaw is a direct sequel. So at the beginning of the movie, they start right where the original 1974 movie ended. And obviously now, being, 40 years later, they couldn't use the same characters to replay their roles. So they got a different character to play the role of the Old Man, Drayton. And Bill Moseley took over that role. That's cool, because the original guy, I don't know if he, I think he's still around. I can't remember if he had passed away or not. I'll have to check that, but 40 years later, wouldn't work having him. So Bill Moseley took over that role. It was kind of cool, put on the same outfit from what he wore in the original. So that was kind of cool. So, Bill Moseley got to be in Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 and then Texas Chainsaw. But yeah, like I said, what he's most known for is Otis Driftwood in the Devil's Rejects, House of Thousand Corpse. So cannot wait to meet him. That is going to be awesome. By the way, his name, that guy I was trying to think of is Jim Sidao, if that's how you say it. And unfortunately, we did lose him in 2003, sadly. But if he was still around, he would be like, because he was 83, I think, when he died. And 14 years later would make him like 97 right now. So yeah, rest in peace to him. But yeah, I looked it up real quick. I just wanted to clarify that. All right, so aside of Linda Blair, this next one is probably the one I'm most excited for. It's a toss-up between the two. But I've been wanting to meet this guy for a long time. Check it out. Sid Haig. Yes. Of course, he is most known for Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses as well, playing Captain Spaulding. And since then, he's been in a shitload of horror movies, too. He's been in a bunch. And he's he plays just great parts. Really good actor. I'll tell you a quick story about him too. A few years ago, my band, my old band I was in, Rising, we got scheduled for one of those haunted hay rides that I've been going to for years. We got booked to play a show there one Saturday night around Halloween. I think, like I said, I think this was about 5 years ago or something like that. Well, that particular year, because those haunted hay rides one in particular that I go to every year, I've been going to for 20 years and meeting different people. And the year that we were booked for my band to play, they actually had Sid Haig. They hired Sid Haig to come out there and be a celebrity guest, because they do that every year. I've met like Kane Hodder out there, Alex Vincent, Michael Berryman. I've met a lot of people at those haunted attractions. And Sid Haig was scheduled to be there that year, along with the original Elvira. Both of them were the two celebrities, and for some reason, that night that we played the show, they weren't there. I don't know why. I can't remember what happened. Neither of them were. I even brought my mask and everything to have him sign, and for some reason he didn't show up. I can't really remember exactly what happened. If he was just didn't come to the attraction at all that year, or if he like just canceled that night. I can't remember, but yeah, it was kind of a bummer because I almost got to meet him 5 years ago, but now I finally get to meet him, and I'm really excited for it. And again, I probably will have him sign my Captain Spaulding mask, and probably have him sign my poster as well, my Devil's Rejects poster or House of Thousand Corpse or something, along with Bill Moseley. We'll see, but yeah. So Sid Haig. I'm so bummed. Okay, well, that about wraps it up for the most part of who I plan on getting autographs from. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get all those autographs. Some of them are not guaranteed. Howard Sherman is still kind of up in the air with me. I'm not sure, but there's also, I'm going to show you a few pics right now of some other, I'll just basically show you the pics of all the lineup. But there's a few others, like there's some wrestlers that are going to be there that I'm thinking about possibly getting autographs from. Like Sting is going to be there, and Lita's going to be there, and Charles Wright, who is Papa Shango, Godfather, those characters, and a couple other wrestlers I can't remember, but they're all going to be there. Chris Owen's going to be there. He's that actor who's been in like a million movies, most known for like American Pie. He played the Shermanator. He was also in The Mist, so that's kind of cool. I may get his autograph too. I don't know. I'm still trying to debate and just see how much I can afford on this whole trip. But yeah, let's go ahead and just show you a couple more pics of everybody who's going to be there. Yeah, so there you go. Now, there's also a couple more names that they haven't put into that website there yet, like what's his name? Steve Cardenas or Cardenas or something, whatever his name is, the second Red Ranger from the Power Rangers. The first one was what was his name? The first Red Ranger who played Jason. Can't remember his name. I suck. I'm sure you guys are just shouting it out right now. But anyways, he was the first Red Ranger, and then Steve Cardenas came in and took over. But he's going to be there. Who else? God, there's another one. I can't think. Oh, I can't think of them all. There's probably like another 5 that they haven't put on their website yet. Not like huge names, but still a couple more that they haven't gotten in there yet. But all in all, great lineup. Super excited to meet all these celebrities. Well, there you go, everybody. That wraps it up. That's your Days of the Dead 2017 Indiana update. And we're about a week away, and I'm so excited. It's kind of bummed that I didn't go to Texas again, but there wasn't really a lot of names that I wanted to get autographs from. Maybe like 2, 2 or 3, but it's okay because I'm excited for Days of the Dead. So now going forward, I don't really know what I'm going to do for conventions. I guess I'll just kind of look and see what they have throughout the year and find the best one. My buddy Craig, who I talk about a lot lately, he lives out in the Pennsylvania area, and there's a convention out there that he goes to. And now offhand, I can't remember the friggin' name, but it's going to be one coming up in August that he's going to with a buddy of his, Mark Jones, who I've talked about in one of my unboxings, who I follow on YouTube. They're both going to be going to that this year, and they had asked me about it, and I thought that would be so cool to go to that, but I just don't think I'm going to be able to pull it off, just money-wise, because it's like 2 months from now. But I'm really thinking about doing it next year with them. That way I get to meet them and things like that. So it'd be kind of cool. So that's kind of my plans as of right now. We'll see what the lineup looks like for next year for that particular convention, which I can't even think of the damn name right now. But yeah, so I'm really excited. Again, Jess and I are going to be driving, which I'm probably going to have her do most of the driving, just because I'm still in a lot of pain, and at least by sitting in the passenger seat, I can lay the seat back, because it's when I lay down is when I don't really feel the pain, when I'm laying back from the surgery. That way, if she drives, I'll be able to lay back and take it easy. So, yeah, that's the plan. Is we're gonna drive there. Should be about a 9-hour drive. Haven't exactly decided what we'll be doing. If we'll drive half, or just trying to make it all the way through. But we check into the hotel on Friday. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I'm just super pumped, and I definitely will be doing a video to give you guys footage of the convention. So definitely stay tuned for that in a few weeks or so. But yeah, that about wraps it up, everybody. So I'm so excited about it, and cannot wait to get there and get the autographs and just see all the cool shit there and just have a good time. So thank you so much for watching this video, everybody. I appreciate it. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are, if you're going to Days of the Dead or not. If you've been there in the past, let me know what you think of it. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that like right down below. Share the video around. Don't forget to hit the notification bell right down below as well. And subscribe if you haven't. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.